I lived in a world that at any moment could erupt into fire. It was the sort of knowledge that kept you on your toes.
So The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. It is a story of a lot of struggle, a lot of poverty, a lot of hardship, a lot of extremely unfortunate situations. But throughout the entire book, somehow, it being her memoir, she maintains this sense of not having it be depressing and not having it be overwhelmingly sad, or it's just so bleak that you can't even read it. I think in a lot of ways, it's just, there was a review that I read that talks about the resilience of the kids and how when you finish the book, there's a lot of sad things that have happened, but you kind of exit with this life-affirming feeling.
So throughout the story, Rex Walls, Jeanette's father, asks his children, "Have I ever let you down?" Several times throughout the story, he has let them down through spending all their money or getting them in trouble with government or gangs. But he uses the question in a way to reassure himself that he is doing the right thing for his family.
Rosemary Walls is the mother of Jeanette and her 3 other siblings. Rosemary describes herself as a excitement addict, which, although helps her character be happy, has a negative effect on the rest of her family. Also explains one of the reasons she's married to Rex Walls, because she says there's never a boring moment while he's around.
The Glass Castle, it's obviously the namesake of the book, but it's this thing that Jeanette, the author's dad, is always promising to her, once they strike it rich, once they get money, he'll build her this perfect glass castle, which kind of encapsulates all of her dreams of being economically stable and just being happy and that type of thing. And how it's just, he draws blueprints, he tells them what their room is going to be like, and how it's just going to be this huge castle of just glass with all the combinations that they want. And when I was reading it, I don't know, for some reason I didn't imagine it as perfect as they described. I imagined it kind of like a greenhouse with a lot of flowers and that type of thing, and how it might have not been perfect, but it's what Jeanette and all of her siblings kind of looked forward to.
Imagine the glass castle as a magnificent building, but it is made of glass, so I also picture it being very fragile.
I imagine the glass castle as a big glass mansion that was really beautiful, but at the same time it was hard to imagine because it never seemed like they were actually going to accomplish building it, and it just seemed kind of like this unattainable goal that they never reached.
The candle flames suddenly shifted, dancing along the border between turbulence and order.